Demon Slayer Infinity Castle is now in theaters, and I've seen the movie. Let's talk about it in this video. Hello, everyone. Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a spoiler-free review for Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, the movie, which is now in theaters. So this is a film that, first of all, uh, as most of the anime films have been doing now, more recently, this is not a standalone film. This is a continuation of what's been going on. So you definitely want to watch everything up to the end of the Hashira training arc before going into this. The movie picks up immediately in the moments right as the last arc ends, which is really interesting, right? I went to watch Mugen Train back when it came out a few years ago, and then Crunchyroll ended up putting in those. It ended up splitting up the movie, kind of like pieces of the season before the entertainment district. So they kind of split it up, which is an interesting approach because they're kind of having their cake and eating it too. Now, I will say before you go into this film, I went under the impression because I wasn't looking. I did not want to look up anything about this film. I was under the impression that this was going to be the closing arc of Demon Slayer, the Infinity Castle arc, which it is, but this movie is not the end. From what I've seen online, they're planning to do two or three movies, like a trilogy of the Infinity Castle arc. This movie is pretty long. It's 2 hours and 35 minutes, which is already like quite a lengthy film for an anime. That's I would say maybe like 7 episodes of an anime if you include like everything, credit, runtime, all that. Which is an interesting approach. But like I said, I don't want to look into anything. So I figured, let me give people a heads up in a spoiler free review. If you're expecting to come away with like a clear ending for the anime, this is not it. There's going to be more, which I'm excited for because you get a lot of really cool stuff. You get a lot of really cool fights, very interesting character moments. We get some explanation of the background of specific characters as they're kind of fighting. They're pretty good about weaving in the character moments in between the fights, which is a very well known manga and anime trope. But Demon Slayer, I think, really nails that. The film looked great on the big screen. I love watching anime on the big screen. You can really tell that there's a lot of quality put behind this. Like the animation looked great, the sounds was incredible. And yeah, I'll talk about my movie experience in a second. But as far as the movie itself, it looked great. I watched the dub version in English because that's how I watched. For those following along online, I started the entertainment district arc about a week ago, and then I just binged everything because I really thought we were going into the ending, and I didn't want to miss out and not watch it opening weekend. Because sometimes when these anime movies leave the theaters, you won't see them for months. Like these don't come to streaming or even available for purchase as soon as as soon as like regular movies do. These anime films take a lot longer for distribution, which I'm not really sure. I'm sure it's some kind of rights thing. Either way, yeah, the movie's fantastic. Some, like I said, really cool fights. You get to see some characters that have been introduced previously, but we've never really seen them in action, which is cool. And just all the visuals of this Infinity Castle are like they're kind of out of this world. They are mind blowing, and it's something that I really enjoyed. So, highly recommend you check out this film. Like I said, I believe the way that the story's been paced out, and I haven't read the manga, so I don't really know. But to me, it feels like they're doing three movies. I did check online real quick just to see if there was any like after credits or anything. I stayed all the way till the end because the movie kind of keeps going while the credits start playing on top of it, kind of like closing out and giving you some vibes, and then having like this kind of big speech. Um, but I think yeah, the voice performances for the English cast is great. I saw that Channing Tatum was in a recording booth for something, and I don't know if he lent a voice for it. I haven't looked at the credits, So if you know anything about Channing Tatum and his involvement in Demon Slayer, I think that'd be cool to find out. But yeah, don't go into this film thinking that it's going to be the last of it. We're going to get more Demon Slayer, probably some Infinity Castle parts, part 2 and 3, or however many parts they deem it to be. Which would be, if they do 3 and they're all 2.5 hours, that's about 12 to 15 episodes of an anime, depending on the pacing. Demon Slayer is one of those anime that the first few minutes are the last scene of the previous episode. So that definitely, these episodes really end up being about 20 minutes each. Especially, like I said, for the most part, like usually the beginning episode and the last episode of the arc will be a little bit longer. But yeah, I got a lot of Demon Slayer running around in my brain, and I'm very excited. Maybe I'll do a follow up once the movie's been out for a little while, where we talk about everything that happened, and see if we have. I don't want to do theories because I know the manga's out there, so like people actually know what's going on. But either way, I'm very excited to see how this story concludes. I did get to like 2 hours into this film, and I was like, "There's no way we're wrapping this up in 30 minutes." Like, there's just no way. So, all right, as just real quick tangent as far as my movie experience. So I knew there was going to be a younger crowd in this one. I went to a 5 o'clock screening at my local AMC. They didn't really have any like collectible stuff, which seems a little weird. I was definitely looking forward to buying like a little bucket or something for Demon Slayer. Um, Maybe other theaters will have something. I really wanted to go to the Alamo, but their screening was earlier, and I was not going to be able to make it before getting out of work. Um, there was the theater was pretty packed. There was a big family sitting right next to me, and they brought some little ones, and they behaved pretty well for the first half of the movie. But this is a long movie, so if you take your little ones, which is fine, I think it's okay. It was an early screening, so like that's when families normally go. Just if somebody starts crying, like maybe go out into the hallway or whatever the case may be. And people taking off their shoes is another thing that I just don't really vibe with at the theater, where it's a shared communal space. And sometimes maybe you think your feet don't stink, but that may not be the case. Sometimes you just don't catch your own smell. So yeah, don't take off your shoes. Be polite. I understand people love recording the screen, but like, man, just you're gonna see it online anyways. Just don't worry about it. Enjoy the movie, because that was another thing that the people next to me kept pulling up their phones, and the scenes are really cool. I understand why they wanted to record. I would have loved to record it. The only thing I did at the end was I took a picture of the title card, kind of but that was like at the end of the credits. Just a really cool illustration. I'll try to throw it up here in the video. So yeah, be cool at the movies. And like I said, that's why I love the Alamo. I feel like people go in there with different expectations of how to behave. So either way, let me know, what did you think about Demon Slayer down in the comments. Let me know if you caught up on the anime. Let me know what other anime. I'm very excited about Chainsaw Man, the Reze arc, which I expect it to be just amazing. I think I love Chainsaw Man. The first season was really really cool. So, but yeah, let me know what else is out there. I know that some theaters are doing like a Ghibli. They re-release Ghibli movies every once in a while, so that might be something else that I do. So, as always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.